Being single in the pandemic is certainly a challenge. Most people that are single, that are yearning for that right partner, decided at the start of the pandemic to simply put relationships on hold, saying it's really difficult to meet someone new and get to know someone while we're in lockdown. But my question to you now is, are you now maybe in a comfort zone? Maybe we're working from home, so it's easy to just stay in our PJs, eat some comfort food, binge watch series. So we can get into that comfort zone and we're waiting for the end of the lockdown. And my question is, if the lockdown ended tomorrow, are you ready to get into a new relationship? So let's get real, right? It's not a comfort zone, it's a discomfort zone because we don't really like being there. It's not comfort food, it's junk food. So for me, I think now is the perfect time for us to go within, to introspect, to get to know ourselves better. Look at your past relationships and ask yourself, who was I in that relationship? How did I show up? Did I lose myself in that relationship? How was I treated? How did I treat my partner? Were we kind to each other? Or did I give too much? Did I demand too much, maybe? Did I expect my partner to make me happy? Or did I expect him to meet all of my needs? Or am I the person that gets really, really anxious when my partner doesn't reply to a text message immediately or when they don't take a call? Um, or am I the one that runs away at the first sign of conflict? Going within allows us to get to know ourselves so much better. I really think it's time to shine a light on creating conscious relationships. And what I mean by that is we've got to first find out, who am I as my most authentic self, and get into a relationship as that most authentic self. And for me to find that authentic self, I've got to first release, let go of the false self. So the false self is the self that keeps you alone and anxious and sad. Because the false self has taken on beliefs about relationships from the relationships we saw around us in our very early years. So we've just taken them on without questioning whether this is a healthy relationship or not. We learn how men behave, how women behave, what marriage looks like, how people treat each other. We take all of that in. So when we start inspecting these beliefs and start letting go of those beliefs that do not serve us, we are starting to let go of the false self. Also, we need to heal the pain of the past from our past relationships, all the hurt, all the anger, the blame, the guilt, the shame. And only when we heal all of that do we allow our most authentic self to emerge. When we work on things like self love, self worth, when we understand what it is to create a relationship that is authentic, that is deep, that is meaningful, that is what I mean when I say creating conscious relationships. So when your authentic self emerges, this is the time that you can truly attract a partner that's going to reflect this authentic self back to you. So as your authentic self, you are loving. So you give love, and your partner reflects that back to you by giving love back to you. The same goes for kindness, for trust, for honesty, for openness, for being vulnerable, right? And in an authentic relationship, we are growing together as individuals and as a couple. We keep growing, we are evolving continuously. This relationship looks and feels like. So my question to you is, if this speaks to you, and if you feel that you are ready to take a deep dive and really look at yourself, who you are in relationships, who you want to be in the relationship going forward, and if you need some help with that, I'm about to relaunch my Creating Conscious Relationships workshop in a whole new format with loads of extra material in there. So that is starting on the 20th of July this year. And if this is something that speaks to you, then drop me an email. I'll put the email in the description box, and we can set up an appointment and have a conversation about where you're at, what it is you want to create, and if this workshop is going to help you do that. I always believe that if you're going to be in a relationship, you might as well make it an epic relationship.